on ETalk Profile, popular music takes a new turn with the classical sounds of Josh Groban. Hi, I'm Thea Andrews. Welcome to ETalk Profile. They call him the new boy wonder of voice. Discovered by producer David Foster at age 17, Josh Groban has been pushing the boundaries of pop music with his classical sound and operatic influences. Today, 21-year-old Groban can say he's duetted with some of music's female giants, Celine Dion and Barbra Streisand. This singing phenomenon has also starred in his own PBS special and in 2 show-stopping Ally McBeal episodes. In 2001, viewers' interest and curiosity were piqued to the point where they sent Groban's self-titled debut album to the top 10 of Billboard's internet sales chart. Recently, I had a chance to chat with Josh and find out the story behind the boy next door with the lungs of gold.
Through the darkness.
You're a Los Angeles
I am, yeah, no, I know. I lived there my whole life, and my parents brought me up there, and it has its ups and downs, but it's always home, so I'm always happy to get back.
Is it strange for you now, growing up in that city and seeing the entertainment industry on the periphery, and now all of a sudden being in the midst of it?
As much as I was interested in the arts and interested in the entertainment industry, it's not something I expected to be doing full on. I expected to do theater in New York or something like that. I didn't expect to be in the music biz. You know, it's a world that I didn't really know anything about. So yeah, growing up there and growing up with friends who had famous parents, and growing up with kids who wanted to be pop stars ever since they were little. There's that major vibe. It's like Nashville. It's the same kind of thing. Everybody wants to grow up to do that. So I was probably one of the only people I knew that did not have that, that didn't immediately know I wanted to be, this whole stardom thing was not something I was even interested in. I wanted to do theater. I didn't care if it was local theater or Broadway, just hopefully one day Broadway, but the whole making an album and having millions of fans, and it never occurred to me that that could even be possible. So in my senior year in high school, I started doing stuff. I did musical theater. I was like in Fiddler on the Roof, and I was doing, I was playing drums and jazz concerts and stuff.
What was your favorite musical theater part when you were in high school and doing all your shows?
Oh gosh, to have played, that I played, or that I would have wanted to play. That I played. I was Tevye in Fiddler on the Roof.
You were Tevye?
Yeah, exactly.
You must have been a small little Tevye.
Well, he's poor. He's not supposed to be eating a whole lot.
Exactly. I would have maybe gone with Perchik for you, but
I did Perchik before, actually. I did Perchik in a summer program, and then when I went to LA County High School for the Arts, which is where I went to high school, they cast me as Tevye. It was just because I had the voice for it. They had to pad me up and put the hat on and the beard, and it was just a blast. It was so great, and that got me my real experience of feeling that buzz on stage, being able to step out on stage and 3 hours passing by not even knowing it. That's the energy of live performance.
Coming up next on ETalk Profile, Josh gets the opportunity of a lifetime.
It was really scary, but it wound up being a day that changed my life. David, about 2 weeks prior, he needed a singer right away, so he called my voice teacher and said, "Who have you got who's young that can sing show tunes or whatever?" So I knew All I Ask of You from Phantom of the Opera, and I went in and I sang it, and 20,000 people were in that arena. The concert for Governor Gray Davis of California's inauguration. But, oh, this is insane. So I finished, and I thought, okay, that was fun, but I'll never see David ever again. What does he want with me?
It only happens a few times in a lifetime that a tape sticks out so dramatically. And you were 17, right? And I heard all these other tapes, and they were all good, but when your voice came on, it was just like It was breathtaking.
2 weeks later, he gave me that phone call. He said, "Hey, man, I wrote a song called The Prayer for Andrea Bocelli and Celine Dion. And Andrea's in Germany. He's rehearsing. He can't come to the rehearsal. Would you mind? You were great last week. Would you mind coming in and singing with Celine until Andrea gets here?" And I was 17 at that point, and I knew the song a little bit. And I was a huge fan of Bocelli, and his range is just so incredible. And I was listening to this song, and I'm thinking, David, I'm not sure if this is right for me to do. You know, I'm not sure I can sing this song. I don't want to embarrass myself in front of Celine. So thank you, but no thank you. And we hung up, and I thought, I wasn't even thinking in terms of big break. It was like I said, I didn't know that big breaks happen to people like me. I just thought, oh, nice guy, you know, but no thanks. And he called me back and he said, "No, you really don't understand. I'm not asking you. You're not going to let me down. I expect you here at 2 o'clock. So I worked on the song, and it was the first time I had to sing in Italian, even besides voice lessons. And I got to the shrine, and he never gave me any passes. So the security guards are like, "Yeah, right, you have to sing with Celine." So, you know, I get on stage, and it's the same deal. You know, "Where's this Josh Groban guy? He's 30 minutes late." I'm like, "Well, I've actually been here for the last hour." "It's you? Stand on the X, whatever. Just sing when you have to." So, you know, just nobody cared. I mean, and we started singing, and as we started going through the song more and more, and I got more and more people started paying attention, and there were so many celebs in the audience, and it was kind of like a dream. It was just, I couldn't believe that I was standing on the stage of the Shrine Auditorium with Celine Dion singing the song.
He starts to sing. Everybody in the audience, backstage, the orchestra, myself, I forgot to start my part. This kid was obviously so talented. Singing with him, The Prayer, was a thrill for me. I love singing with him.
And she was incredible. She was so nice and helped me with the Italian, and my hand was shaking, and she held my hand while we were singing. It was really scary, but it wound up being a day that changed my life.
It sounds like very early on David Foster taught you one of the most important lessons of the entertainment business.
Yeah,
smile and sing, kid.
Just smile and do it. And yeah, smile and do it. It's you know, it's luck meets preparation meets just being thrown in the fire and being able to do it. I mean, he's you know, pushed me in the deep end so many times, and it has not, you know, I think a lot of people probably figure that since I met David Foster, it was just all handed to me on a silver platter. He arranged this, I met this person. You know, obviously some of that is true because of the connections he has, but man, the things that he did as tests, I mean, like the hurdles that I had to overcome, it was a year before I was even signed, because I was just basically traveling with him all over the place, singing for Warner Brothers people, singing for different charities. It was really a difficult year, and then I went off to college, and he goes, "Oh, you're going to college? Oh, okay." You know, it's like, "Yeah, David, I have to. You know, we're not signed." So eventually, you know, my school was getting upset that I was going to LA all the time to sing for David, and I eventually said to him, "Look, let's either make a record or let me concentrate on college. You know, one of the two." And he said, "All right." Possible, and here's how we can do it. We can make this great album, and you can be you. Let's make this happen. And coming from him was such a surprise, because he's won so many Grammys for female pop artists mostly. I mean, the pop stuff that he does is really incredible. So it was really cool to have somebody like that picking you up and saying you can do this.
You've always said that your parents were very supportive of you,
yes,
but they didn't push too hard. How did they feel about you dropping out of school?
Well, they had really observed pretty closely what had happened with me and David, and the magic that was there, and all that he was capable of doing for me and with me. So so they were very excited about the possibility of the fact that I could be recording with him. I mean, they knew who he was, they knew what he had done, and they knew that everything he did was a class act. You know, he's the man. He's a genius at what he does, and so the opportunity to work with him it's real life 101. I mean, it's an incredible opportunity that you can't get from any class, and so. As much as, of course, I've been brought up, you work hard in high school, you go to college, you get your degree, and then you audition, you know. And my parents appreciated the fact that my opportunity was coming now, and I needed to take it, and I needed to try it, and if it didn't work, I was young, I can go back. So I'm very happy that I did, and they were very supportive, but they weren't stage parents, you know. They weren't pushing me out on the stage in a tuxedo when I was 3 years old saying, "Look at our son," you know. It was just something that they were very interested in, getting me interested in the arts and taking me to theater. And when I started singing, they were very excited, but they prepared me for the real world. They said, "Great, take lessons, but here's your schoolwork." You know, they made sure that I always had a backup plan.
Being introduced to the business, I guess, so quickly, and not having the foundation that maybe other stage kids have, not having those parents.
I wasn't in the Mickey Mouse Club.
Did you wish you'd had that foundation?
You know what? Actually, no. I mean, not really, because when I was young, when I was 10, I wanted to be 10. You know, I wanted to be playing video games and being a kid and being stupid and just figuring out life. I didn't want to have that kind of pressure so early on. So when I started and I was 17, I still felt very young to be starting, but I was still way behind compared to some of the people that had been doing it since they were 4 or 5 years old. So, but you know, in the long run, I know I'm really kind of happy that I was able to have a great, grounded, normal childhood where that wasn't in the equation, so that, you know, I could decide for myself that this was the right move when it happened. It wasn't something that was always a childhood fantasy. When I watch all those old tapes of me when I was younger, I'm glad that's what's on tape, not me doing, you know, Star Search 18 times, you know, when I was, you know, so I don't know.
Coming up next on ETalk Profile, Josh faces the cold realities of the music biz.
She's like, okay, well, you know, here's your shot, kid. You know, go out and sing. If people like you, great. If they don't, then it was nice knowing you.
Non so spiegar neanche come